Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? What's up, Mitch Bromwell? What's up, John? How you guys doing? Awesome. Well, Mel Gibson, how's it going? Love that there's a Mel Gibson in the chat. So, you guys, as let me see if I can move over a little bit. What's up, Joseph Marshall, John McIntyre? How's it going, man? Good to see everybody today. So, as time goes on, I keep just discovering new things about Control Token that are amazing. What's up, Jeff Cohen? Super pumped to see what this can do. Very happy I get in on pre-sale. Oh yeah, it's a really exciting project because it's dealing with crypto in a foundational way that just typically doesn't get addressed. Um, and so one of the things that I realized recently, and I made a post about it, is typically with reward projects, you have like these moments where you've got this, right? And if you're, either holding or however you get the rewards, holding or staking, then you're only getting that if you're holding during all of this, right? If you're not holding during that, you miss out on that volume. So the people that are buying like right here, they missed out all the volume on the way up. Because Control Token is like storing up value, the volume isn't being given out immediately. And so all these rewards are being built up. And let's just say this time period is the month into this reward event. And so this does a lot of crazy things because it means that people aren't missing out on those rewards whenever they come into the project later on. That's a massive like selling point that, hey, you're not missing out on the rewards. You can come in and get in these rewards, right? Hello, young fella. Surviving this meltdown in the world. Oh yeah. What's up, movement user? How's it going? Good afternoon, Control Token fams. Oh yeah. Exciting week ahead, guys. We got a lot of exciting things going on this week. I'm going to be busy the rest of the day because I'm celebrating my birthday with my wife. We're going to go to a salt room where you like breathe in salt and see if that helps with our health issues. And then we're just going to get dinner and come home. So I probably won't have anything for the rest of the night. Maybe a post or maybe a space, but probably not. And so, yeah, this is a crazy concept. It's just delayed value. And so, yeah, your typical reward projects, you have to be a holder of some of the biggest reward projects we've seen, and you're getting those rewards as the day happens. When that threshold triggers, it gives out those rewards, and you get them automatically. Pretty sweet, right? Pretty sweet deal. But what we're doing is we're building up those rewards. We're not giving them out, and we're building them up. And we're saying everybody who doesn't make it to this is forfeiting the rewards they would have gotten, and they're paying into those rewards. And anybody, it's super important that you have this part. Anybody can come in and take part in these rewards and get the equal share based on the amount of tokens they hold. Somebody could hold the entire month with 1 million tokens, and somebody can come in last minute, buy 1 million tokens and stake it and get the same amount of rewards as this person who held 1 million tokens the entire month. Now their unstaking time period would be another month later, but if you don't incentivize these rewards, which they're pretty heavily incentivized through the high tax, through the fact that they're delayed, through the fact that they're stablecoin, it'll create a situation where somebody can come in right here, and this point right here on the chart is a better entry point than this point, because this point has a lot more value that's happened because of the volume into these rewards. When this person bought over here, the rewards weren't nearly as high because it hadn't seen all this up and all this down. And so this is why this project protects against sell-offs. If a sell-off happens, we're building up value in the future, and sell-offs provide entry points into that value. This value in the future can do amazing things. It protects against sell-offs. That's probably the number one fear in DeFi is a sell-off, whether it be a rug or just the project, selling. And so it protects against that. I mean, I don't know if you get a bigger selling point than protection against sell-offs. Now, sell-offs can still happen, but they can't happen to a certain degree. We're basically creating floor. This value right here creates a floor. I've talked about that, and we've looked at those numbers. Sam Johnson on the YouTube side of things. Hey, man, how are you doing? Since the Sapin days, hope all is well. You need to check out Grams and Crypto Slams, just launched casino, holder receiver. Awesome, man. I'm doing good. I appreciate that. Everyone I invited the pre-sale. Everyone I invite to the pre-sale are now kicking themselves, but I still think they have a great chance to be able to still get in and stake Control Token. That's hilarious, Mitch Bromwell. Yeah, everybody in the pre-sale is sitting on a 4x right now. You put in 1,000, you're sitting on 4,000. You put in 10, you're sitting on 40. If you're the whale that put in 60, you're sitting on 240. And so that's an awesome feeling to be like, we're up. But why is everybody holding if we're all sitting at a 4x? It's because we're aiming for the moon. We're not aiming for a quick pump and dump that just helps a couple people. We're aiming to be a top crypto. We're aiming to be the next big reward project. That's our goal. That's our vision. That's what us as a community are working towards. We're not aiming for a little bit of success, a little bit of volume, a little bit of action. We're aiming to be a top crypto. We want to be something that people are talking about. And we know that we have a structure that allows us to be confident. Any project could say we're aiming to be a top crypto, right? But we actually have something that allows us to have a confidence that it's actually possible. And it's the structure that we have built in within Control Token. It's really just the effect of building up value in the future and all of the implications that having real value in the future has on the price, the sentiment, the psychology, the fact that when you buy into Control Token, anybody who's buying right now, you're buying into guaranteed value, or you're buying into preserved value, meaning that your tokens already have a certain amount of value built up for them through the buy and sell tax that you're buying into, whether it be $100 or $1,000. It depends on the volume. And once we get the rewards showing, you're going to be able to see that, which is going to be really sweet for people who are new coming into the project. They'll be able to see, oh, if I spend $1,000, I'll get $50 back. Hey, maybe that's not a lot, but that's awesome. Or what if it was $100 back? You'd be like, that's sweet. I get $100 in rewards, like that can only go up for the rest of the year. And we're at the earliest point of this time frame. We literally are less than 2 weeks into this project, and we have a whole year of volume to build up. The highest portions of our volume is going towards the 12-month event. A big portion is going towards a 6-month event, and then you have the monthly events happening. So there's always these reward events that build up, like you can see right here, and anybody is incentivized to enter into them. If there's a big sell-off before the 6-month or the 12-month event, for one, that's going to fuel the rewards. Like sells increase the rewards, and it's going to provide a better entry point to that rewards. And so what we've created and what we're aiming to be realistically is one of the highest rewarding long-term volume projects ever created. Everybody's always like, how do you have volume, sustainable volume with a long-term project? What happens if you have value in the future? That if people leave, they feel that value, and if people buy, they feel that value. What is this value that can only go up until it gets distributed due to the price? Well, it creates a situation where most of the stakers are in the staking pool. We have most of our stakers in the staking pool. We just launched. That's insane. That kind of bullishness, that's going to allow for, if we get momentum, to really allow that momentum to do its thing. And momentum can become exponential. Things can change within the time frame of weeks to a month. You can see some of the biggest changes you've ever seen in crypto. And that's what we're aiming for, as not just me, but our community and our whales are aiming to be a top crypto. You can't find that anywhere else. I always love to see CC's face. Looks like it's about to blow up because of that exposure. Yeah, it's very bright. It depends on what kind of screen I have. But yeah. Awards are... Okay, we actually do have some questions. Awesome. I'm here to answer any questions on the chat, Twitter, YouTube, whatever you're at. Go ahead and drop your questions on Control Token, and I promise you I'll be able to prove to you that this project is something you haven't seen before, that's extremely unique, that we think is very likely to succeed, and that's what we're all working towards. So Arminius on the YouTube side of things says, question: rewards are the draw, so logically people who buy will lock up for those rewards. Where does volume come from once everyone who wants to buy does as stakes, hoping that creates supply shock? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as you know, right now the price is around, that's our floor right there. And so, you know, if people are trying to buy up the supply to stake it, then the demand, yeah, supply shock, the price is going to have to go crazy. The more that people buy and stake, the more that the price is going to go up. And usually the more the price goes up, the faster it goes up. And so that's kind of best case scenario with this project, is we reach this point that might be typically higher than what you could see with a traditional crypto. If you have most of the supply basically committed to the staking pools, chasing the rewards, then where does that leave the price if the price starts to grow? Well, those people aren't going to sell. And if they do sell, they have to do an unstaking fee, and then they have to sell. It's almost 50% of your bag if you're leaving the staking pools to sell. If you fulfill your staking period, you don't have to pay an unstaking fee, and you just got to pay the sell fee if you're taking profit. So yes, if most people are entering into the staking, and that's causing, in order to do that, you have to buy, and as the price goes up, if we do a 10x, now in order to get the exact same amount of tokens, you're paying 10 times more. And obviously if we did another 10x, then from where we're currently at, right, then that would put you at, why do I feel like this is off? 0.004. Okay, well, either way, people would have to pay 1,000 times what the people who are paying it from the start in order to get the same amount of tokens. And so, yeah, the price will skyrocket. The price skyrocketing will likely lead to people taking profits. People taking profits, whether they're unstaking or whether they just weren't staking and decided to sell, this will be massively fueling the 6-month, the 12-month, and whatever month this selling is happening in. But remember, this will always be 2 times bigger than all of the monthly rewards, and this will always be 3 to 5.5 times bigger than all of the monthly rewards for the entire year. No matter what volume happens, the 12-month event will always be 3 to 5.5 times bigger than the monthly rewards built up for an entire year. So take your monthly rewards for the entire year, which is 2% of all volume, and then multiply them times 3 to 5.5, and that's what the 12-month reward event is going to be. The 6-month rewards are always going to be twice as big as the monthly rewards. So we're going to have our first 6 months, our monthly rewards, and during that time, 4% of volume is building up for 6 months. So no matter what, this will always be twice as big, and this will always be 3 to 5 times bigger, which is really awesome, because whether we slow down in volume, whether we have a ton of volume, or whether we have no volume, these reward events are still there. And so there's value in the future of the project, and it's very unlikely that you're going to see less volume as we approach these reward events, whether we're doing bad, whether we're doing medium, or whether we're doing great. Especially if we're doing great, then these reward events can become crazy, because people are more likely to buy dips because they're more likely to buy them and stake them right before the reward events. People are more likely to sell before the reward events who are trying to take profits before people unstake. There's just all these incentives to have buys and sells, and the buys and sells are being used to fuel the future. It's a really, really genius structure that we have going. So 2%, 4%, and then 6 to 11% of all volume built up for 12 months, 6 months, and 1 month. And the really cool part about all this, I know you guys already know this, is the 12-month one. First, you have your monthly event. That's going to happen 5 times. And when it happens on the 6th time, you're going to get your first 6-month event, and you'll get that the same time as the 1-month event. But when the 12-month event happens, it doesn't happen by itself. It happens the same time as the last 6-month event and the last monthly event. So they all happen at the same time, and there's also the unstaking fees go towards the 12-month events. Anybody who's unstaking early, 30% of what they're unstaking is going towards the 12-month events. And then you also have the extra whale pool, which happens every 3 months. If you got 1.2 million tokens and you're staked in the 12-month, you get an extra 1% that is only shared between you and everybody else who has 1.2 million tokens and is staked in the 12-month pool. If you got 1.2 million tokens and you're staked in the monthly or the 6-month, you're forfeiting that 1% to everybody else. Really, really cool structure that we have set up. And that whale pool is designed to target the people who have the most control over the project and to unite them in the growth of the project. As whales leave, they heavily fuel the whale pool for the whales, especially at the 12-month reward event. And so it provides a reason for whales to not just be like, damn it, let's just get out of here and call it quits, abandon ship. It provides reason to be like, hey, actually, let's stay and maybe buy the dip. And damn, I wish I didn't rhyme because that sounded so cheesy. All right, Mitch Bromwell, if anyone is new here on this live stream, yeah, guys, make sure to like and share right now. I appreciate you guys doing that. Always love to see CC's face. Happy birthday. Appreciate that. Bro Shine, happy birthday. Put your screen on dark mode, LOL. And how much longer till the first 1-month event? What's up, Free Gender? The first 1-month event should be happening around September 14th, right? Around that time. I'll be getting that info soon. Okay, happy birthday. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Where can I find the total volume since launch? You can track that. I think that we're at like 500,000, I think. I'm not sure. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Kratzian, on Deck Screener. Total volume is 536,000. Appreciate that, Kratz. Thank you. For Regener, depends on when you staked. It looks like most of the first stakers will be in around 19 days. Will you be telling the community how much is in the whale pool after the first 3-month event? Yeah, you can. The whale pool will. Yeah, we'll have those rewards showing before we get to it. We just got some updates that we need to do on the website, and we're doing everything we can, guys. We're looking good. We're in a strong point, but things could be a little better, and we're just going to continue to get better as time goes on. Hi, CC. Preach, brother, preach. Yeah, man. So, Control Token, it's doing things that you just cannot have with other projects. Other projects, for one, most people coming into other projects, the goal is to pump it and dump it. Like, they're literally coming in with a goal to get your money from you. They're not thinking long term. And so get rid of probably 90 to 95, I don't know, most projects, right, are bad, and they have bad intentions. They're not planning long term. They're planning to get as much of a pump as they can before they sell on you. And so that provides this awesome opportunity for somebody who does make an honest project. But you can't just make an honest project. You need something that addresses the problems of why projects fail. And that's where Control Token really comes in clutch, because we have something that is directly addressing something that everybody else is ignoring. And it's just one of those crazy things, because we really have two things happening, right? You have the LP, and this is the game that everybody's playing. But we have the rewards. You've got the monthly, which happens 12 times. That's awesome, right? Monthly rewards, something to get you by, right? Typically, rewards just go out to everybody, and they... what am I trying to say? But because our rewards are being delayed, everybody who doesn't make it to the end of the month, everybody who's selling between now and when this first monthly event happens, forfeited their rewards to you. Everybody not staking between now and when the first monthly reward event happens, forfeited those rewards to you. And so those rewards should be higher than any reward project you've seen. And if we get similar volumes to some of the high reward projects, which we're aiming to try to go beyond those at some point, then your rewards will be crazy. They'll blow your mind, right? And so we have the monthly, we have the 6 month, and the 6 month happens twice. And so the 6 month will be like this big reward event that built up, and it'll happen twice. And then we have the 12-month reward event, and that's built up over the entire year, and that's going to be this very big reward event. And so this is all value, right? All of this is value being stored up through volume, and this value has a natural effect on the price, right? You guys have heard me talk about all of this, the monthly, the 6 month, the 12 month, it's all having effect on the price. Because if you can, I keep saying that, if you put in $100 worth and you get, a certain amount of Control Token, and that amount of Control Token has $100 in rewards spread out through all of the monthly, 6 month, and 12 month, well, then who's not going to do that? Who's not going to be like, you're telling me that if I buy this, that the rewards for the amount of tokens I'm buying automatically cover what it is that I'm paying into? People are going to do that. You guys are going to do that. I'm going to do that. If the price ever gets low enough to where the rewards are the same as the price. And what does that do? That does, the main thing that I'm saying is protection against sell-offs. And so somebody might be like, cool, it protects against sell-offs, but how much or when? I don't know. Is it a little? Is it a lot? And so I say it's a lot. If we do 17 million in volume from where we're at, which is not that much more than what we've done, and we're just getting started, then that'll put you at the floor will likely not be able to go to the price that we're at now. It's around 17 million in volume that where we're at now, that 0.004. Let me not write off the thing. So yeah, let's just say hypothetical 17 million. Which that's not a lot. I feel like that's not a lot. I feel like we can do that. Then the rewards will be, I believe, is it 4,500? It'll be about what? No, actually, it'll be closer to 5,000. It'll be 4,500 to 5,000 at 17 million in volume for 1 million tokens, which is the price we're at right now, 0.004. And that can be equal whatever. The price is what we're talking about, not necessarily the amount of tokens. But if we're talking about 1 million tokens, then $4,500 or $5,000 or any investment, $100 in right now, if we hit 17 million in volume, your rewards will equal the amount of tokens you can get at this price. And so what that means is it's not just that your rewards equal that, it's that the price likely will be sitting, will have a floor that is likely above that. Because like I said, if you could buy $100 and get $100, you're going to do that. But not just that, but if you could buy $100 and get $50, if it covered half your buy-in. And so what would that be if I were to try to figure that out? Because that's something I haven't quite looked at, which could be quite exciting, actually, something I haven't thought of. It's kind of like how much of a sentiment how much of the demand will be for the token based on the amount of rewards you get back. Is it half? Is it a quarter? Is it a tenth? At what point does it not have any value to it? But at what point do you feel a lot of resistance because people are like, hey, if I can get a tenth of my bag back in rewards by what I'm putting in, that's awesome. I feel like obviously at least the floor value, right? So 17 million in volume will put us at a floor of 0.004 for the rest of the year. That will go down very slightly based off the first 5 months, but not much. And there's a lot of other factors that can greatly increase it. So it's super important to keep that in mind. Have you seen a project like that with only 17 million in volume? This, where we're at right now, around our all-time high, would be a floor that you wouldn't be able to see for the rest of the year. That's crazy, right? It's not just that it has that floor, it's that it protects against sell-offs to that point, right? And it's that everybody, whatever you're putting in right now, and this is taxed volume, right? All volume that's taxed. There's some volume that comes from arbitrage and the contract selling that's not taxed, but most of the volume's coming is taxed. And so whatever you put in right now, if we get 17 million in volume, we'll be covered in rewards through the 12 months. If you're in the 12-month staking pool, and actually it'll be more if you have more. If you get 1.2 million tokens, you're getting this extra 1%, and you're getting on staking fees, and it's appreciating, and we're doing all these extra airdrops and giveaways. So it's crazy what we have coming. But just to think about that, what project can make that claim? 0.004, 17 million in volume, whatever you put in. You could put in 100 grand at this price. If we hit 17 million in volume, your rewards will be the amount that you're putting in. 17 million in tax volume, it'll be the amount you put in at this price. That's crazy, right? That's insane. And it's a floor for the rest of the year. It's not a floor for a day or a week or a month. Has any project done something like this? Can any project make that claim? And if that sounds too good to be true, please go check the math. Go use ChatGPT, put in the supply, 1 billion total supply, put in the selfie, 15%, 13% of that goes to rewards. Put in selfie's 20%. 18% of that goes to rewards. Put in the buy fee, 15%, 13% of that goes to rewards. Calculate based on the total supply staked. We're at around 500 million, which is almost half the supply. You can raise that to 600 million if you want. And then say what the rewards would be based on how much volume you have to get the amount that the cost today. You can figure all this out yourself, and it's very easy to do if you're using ChatGPT, if you're not good at kind of figuring it out yourself. And so this will continue to happen. It's not just that at 17 million volume we have this floor. It's that at 100 million in volume, you guys have heard me talk about this one. This is the exciting one, right? Or it's one of the, let's go ahead and start with 50. Maybe I should start smaller and work my way up. 50 million in volume. The rewards for 1 million tokens. This is for everybody. It's not if you sell, it's for everybody staking. If you're not staking, then you're just forfeit it. You're saying, I don't want my rewards because I just want to sit here and hope that I sell at a good point. You can do that, but you're going to pay a fifth of what you sell is going to go into the future of the project. Cafe Control. Yep, we got marketing going with CoinMerge. They just started the marketing. We're going to be doing spaces. We're probably doing a space on Friday. We've got a lot of, this is kind of a pretty exciting packed week. I'm just freaking exhausted. I don't know if you can tell that right now. Hopefully I can get my energy going back up by the time we get to some of these. Hey, Davey USA, sorry. You can go to controltoken.net and you'll see in the top right the contract address. You just need to take that contract address for Control Token and you need to go into your wallet. You need to have BNB Smart Chain and you need to import that. It'll import the control token, and then you need to raise your slippage to 15 to 20. 20 works for me, and that'll allow the contract to go through. And then you can go to our controltoken.net and you go to staking. You can stake in the 1 month, 6 month, and 12 month and get those rewards. If you stake in the 12 month, you're going to get the 12 month, the 6 month, and the 1 month. And if you have 1.2 million tokens staked in the 12 month, you get all these extra crazy benefits, which is really crazy. Yeah, guys, like and share. I appreciate all you guys doing that. Just a little bit of effort on your part. So this is crazy, right? So we looked at the 17 million. No matter what you're putting in around this price at the 4, everything you put in at 17 million in volume, the floor will not be able to go below that without people just buying into profit. Technically, if it goes below the 4, right? If we hit 17 million in tax volume and the price goes below 4, you'll be buying into rewards that are greater than the cost to buy into the project. Now, do you think that's going to happen? I don't think so. If it does, not for very long at all. That means that anybody could be dropping any amount of money and buying into those greater amount of rewards. That's a crazy thing to even think about. Like, how much money could somebody drop and they'd be getting a guaranteed share of those rewards? If they staked, they'd have to immediately stake. I don't know. I'll have to think about that because that sounds bizarre. There might be some insane math to that. It's blowing my mind thinking about that right now. Anyways, the 50 million, if we hit 50 million in volume, now how many projects do you know that have done that? Quite a lot. It's not like super insane. This isn't like unrealistic stupid. Is it a milestone for us? Yes. But is it like stupidly unrealistic? No, I don't think so at all. A million, I think at certain points, what you think is possible is going to drastically change. Once we get momentum, what becomes possible can drastically change. So what would the rewards be for a million control tokens staked in the 12-month pool with 50 million in volume? And this number, I'm always going to be like, yo, check this number out. Okay, so actually, my bad. I'm doing 50 million, not 100. So this is your rewards, and it'll probably be greater. There's factors that can fluctuate this, but I'm not including a lot of major factors that can heavily raise this. $15,000 for every single person. This isn't if you sell, right? This sounds too good to be true is the problem. For every single person that holds a million control token, assuming 500 to 600 million is the total amount staked, you'll have around $15,000 in rewards spread out between the monthly, the 6 month, and the 12 month. Meaning that when you get all of your rewards for the 12 month, if we have a total of 50 million in volume for the entire year, your rewards alone will come out to $15,000. These rewards cannot be devalued by people selling. People buying and selling control token will only increase your rewards for you individually. People buying and selling XUSD, the stablecoin rewards you're getting, will only increase the value of those rewards. There's literally is not a way to decrease this value other than people entering the staking pool. In order to enter the staking pool, you have to pay the buy tax, and then you have to commit to basically helping the project survive over a long period of time. You're committing to allowing the momentum and the growth of the project to not be stunted, and that's probably going to lead to more volume than it is to pulling away from those rewards, which is another thing to keep in mind, that if people are chasing rewards, they're probably going to help create even better rewards. Super important we all understand that. This is insane, right? So then you can just be like, okay, what about 100 million in volume? That would mean that every single wallet that has a million control staked in the 12-month pool would have $30,000 in rewards in stablecoin. After they get all your monthly, your 6 month, and your 12-month added up, you'll be getting 30 grand. And if we hit 100 million in a month, you'll know I've got 30 grand no matter what. Like, no matter how much they sell, I've got 30 grand, and that 30 grand can only go up between now and when the 12-month event happens. If it takes us 3 months to hit, you'll be like, I've got 30 grand and we've got 9 more months of volume to fuel that 30 grand, to where even if people do take profits, it protects everybody else who didn't take profits with this value. They can be like, at least I've got this. And that's worst case scenario. It's not just at least we've got this. It's the value in the future can incentivize greater growth, new recovery, better all-time highs, all that jazz. And so it's not just about, oh, here's something for you guys. It's about building up something that causes a project to grow and have volume over a long period of time. You're talking about having volume over a long period of time. No other reward project has been able to do that because it's pump, dump, the whales, they took all the rewards and they took all the value out of the liquidity pool. Whereas with us, because we're storing up all the value in the future and we're saying, hey, this is a long-term project, at least a year and probably even more. And if you're leaving before that, you just don't get your rewards. And I think that's amazing. That's the entire idea, is to pull value away from the people hurting the project and to give a lot of value to the people keeping it alive. The more people that chase the value in the future, the more they're helping the project succeed. The more they're not hurting the growth of the project, the more they're allowing for it to grow, the more they're allowing for it to become a top crypto. And we have most of our supply committed to these staking pools. We have most of our supply that's in the holders' hands committed to the staking pools. I think it's around 60 to 70% of the holders are committed to the staking pools. And much of our biggest whales, our biggest wallets, are in the long-term staking pools, in the 12-month. That's a very big commitment to make. And it's that kind of commitment that we need, because what that allows us for is, as we get this exciting part where we're already sitting and holding a 4x. How many projects do that, right? 50 million total volume or monthly? It's 50 million volume at any point. If we have 50 million volume today, which probably not going to happen, that'd be crazy, right? But if we have 50 million volume today, or if we have 50 million volume over the course of the next 12 months, you'll have the $15,000 in stablecoin. And so it's not just that you'll have that, it's that if everybody entering the 12-month staking pools now, whatever time you enter the 12-month staking pool, it's that time next year that you'll be able to leave it without an unstaking fee. You can always leave it, but if you leave it early, there's a 30% unstaking fee. It's up to you to decide if you want to do that or not. I'm sure some people eventually might. If the price goes up enough, you might be like, screw it, I'll forfeit my rewards, pay the 30%, pay the 20%, and get, basically half of the price in my bag. But you're going to shift a ton of value into the future to keep that project alive. But it's not just that. It's that after you fulfill your time period, you have the ability to sell without an unstaking early fee. So you can get your rewards plus take profits. And who knows where the project will be by then. I have absolutely no idea where the project will be. But there will always be incentive to stay in this project, which is another insane thing that I just haven't said before. Because typically when people leave projects, they take all the value with them and everybody's just left with a dead project. But this project, as people leave, they have to shift a ton of value into the project. There's not a situation where a mass exit can happen without shifting a ton of value into the future. Whether it be this year or next year, if a big sell-off happens next year, it's going to greatly fuel the rewards for that year, and it's going to allow for this momentum to happen and there's always going to be value that's being left behind. And that value that's left behind is going to incentivize the growth of the project, reward those who are still there, and incentivize more volume. And that can only grow over the course of a year. So this literally could be this could be happening every year. This year, next year, the year after, the year after. Technically, it will happen. It's just whether it will happen on a small scale, a medium scale, or a massive scale. So I'm only talking about 1 year. If we have consistently 50 million in volume every year, then everybody who has 1 million tokens will be getting 15 grand a year in stablecoin. If we hit 100 million in volume every year for the next 5 years, everybody who has 1 million tokens will be getting 30 grand a year in stablecoin if they're staking into the 12-month over and over and over again. And so who knows how the project's going to do. I don't want to convince you of something that's not true, but I also don't want to not tell you the potential of this. Like, this could do really well, and it would be dishonest of me to tell you that it couldn't. I think it has everything needed in the space that we're in to do well. Can't wait to show my wife and friends my rewards progress on the website. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I would love to. Well, the rewards are going to show on your staking. So when you hit the first month, everybody's rewards are going to show, and they'll be in your wallet. So you'll be able to claim those, or if you're only in the 1 month staking pool, it'll claim it for you and kick you out. But you're going to know on the rewards calculator and the rewards on the website what you have in the future, and you'll be able to calculate very simply. Actually, it's very easy. Whatever those rewards are, that's the hard part to calculate. The easy part is divide your bag by the total amount staked, and it's going to give you a number. So right now, let's just use 500 million. I'll pull up my calculator to do this real fast. Whatever your bag is, let's just say hypothetically your bag is 1 million. And so I might have flipped that. It might be the other way around, actually. I'm pretty sure you divide your bag by the total amount staked. Yeah, and that's going to give you, this should be flipped, my bad. You divide your bag by the total amount staked, and that's going to give you 0.002, right? So if there's 500 million staked and you have a million staked, 0.002, that's your number. That's your share of whatever the rewards are, which is really awesome to know that. Now the rewards, you just multiply that 0.002 times whatever the rewards are. And like I said, the rewards would be, let's just say, the 100 million in volume, right? So that's 70 million in buy volume. And that comes out to 9.1 million. And then we'll assume 30 million in sell volume. And that comes out to 5.4 million. And then we add those together and we get 14.4 or 5 million is the total rewards. This is assuming that we have 500 million total staked. This is assuming 70% buys and 30% sells. If there's more sells, the rewards are greater. And it's assuming that you have 1 million tokens staked over the course of 12 months. So we multiply 0.002 times 14.5 million. It'd be funny if I messed this up, but I didn't. $29,000. There's the math for you guys. I just showed you, right? And we just did it off the fly. We didn't use anything else. I just demonstrated the math for you, right? 500 million total staked. You have, for every million that you have staked, you're getting 30 grand, around 30 grand. So this number can change. It can go up because there's other factors that I'm not attributing to this. Okay, so technically it would be a little less, my bad. It would actually be a little bit less. But if you have 1.2 million, then it would be more because, yeah, whatever. But it's also appreciating, and there's also unstaking fees that are fueling this. So there's a lot of factors that can change this, but it would be around that. It might be a little bit less. It could be a little bit more. But it'll be right around 30 grand, 29 grand. And that's for everybody. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about, this is if you sell at the right time and you get that. This is your rewards. This cannot go down. For every million tokens, you'll be having around that 30 grand if we hit 100 million in volume. And this is assuming 500 million total staked, 70% of that's buys, 30% sells. It could be more sells than buys. Sorry if you've already touched on this, but is there a way to figure out what the coin is worth currently if BNB went to $600? There probably is a way to figure that out. I'm not sure if I'm good at that right now. You'd need to take the BNB in the liquidity pool and I guess multiply it times, add, I guess raise it to the new value, and then you'd know the ratio between the BNB and the control token, and that'll give you the new price. That would be a cool thing to look at. Maybe one of you guys can do that. I appreciate you guys that are helping me post, like, share, live stream videos. It's nice to have somebody doing stuff when I'm not, because I'm just one guy, and I've got to do all the other stuff in the background too. So this is it's taking a lot from me. John McIntyre, $15,000 in XUSD with XUSD being at $1, or $15 in XUSD with XUSD being at, say, $1.25, $1.27. So there's this weird thing with how that works, which it depends on when you get into XUSD as your entry point, which determines how much the value you're putting in at that point is going to appreciate. If you get in at $1 and it appreciates, that's awesome. If you get in at $1.10, it's appreciating at a later point. But ultimately, because our stablecoin is appreciating starting at $1, and I think we're already at $1.17. We already went up quite a lot. Whatever, let's just say we go to $1.50. Well, your rewards are going to be happening throughout the course. They're going to be getting different entry points throughout the entire year into XUSD. And whenever they finally get distributed at the 12-month event, the rewards that got in earliest would have appreciated the longest. And so it works like that. The rewards that are getting in closest to the reward event would have appreciated the least amount. So your rewards are going to appreciate. It's just about them appreciating at different levels when they get in. But that's still, the fact that it's appreciating at all is insane, right? Especially if we have a massive amount of volume in a short amount of time that fuels those rewards, right? So if we have a ton of volume at some point very early on, which is really what we're aiming for, if we had that 100 million in volume, it would have your 30 grand would not only have the rest of the year to appreciate, but it also have the rest of the year for volume to increase that amount. Whether buys or sells are happening, this is going up. And whether buys or sells are happening with XUSD, it's going to appreciate. And if we do it early on, which is ideal, we're not aiming small here, we're not aiming low. Why do a project and be like, all right, guys, let's do okay and let's aim to be just average? Who would do that? We're aiming to be a big project. And if you don't like the targets that we're aiming for, then, you know, I didn't, if I had said 1 trillion in volume, then I'd understand. 1 billion in volume, I think you should be aiming for 1 billion in volume if you're a reward project. Why do it if you're going to aim low? And so that's a crazy situation. This would be, I can't tell you how fulfilled I would feel in regards to this project if that was completely off screen. If we hit 100 million in volume within the next couple months, I would absolutely be like, we're good. We've done it. Because we've secured volume for the rest of the year. We've gotten these amazing rewards for everybody. Yes, it's less if you get in a less entry point, but you're likely to see a lot more volume for the rest of the year. And it'll put you in the situation where everybody's rewards that they're getting for that 100 million are only going to appreciate throughout the rest of the year, which is awesome. Your rewards will be at the monthly, the 6-month, and the 12-month. And so if you don't make it to the 6-month or the 12-month, you're basically saying, I don't want my rewards. If you're not staking, you're saying, I don't want my rewards. Well, who gets those rewards? Everybody who's staking. We're literally just sharing your rewards. And we say, thank you, everybody who's not staking. We get your rewards. In a typical reward project, it just goes to everybody just for holding. No one's being incentivized for or rewarding for committing to growing the project. Everybody's being rewarded and incentivized just for being in the project that day, and then they can just sell. And so reward projects is a revolutionary idea that we've utilized to tackle the problem of why projects fail, which is the liquidity pool and the fact that it incentivizes, rewards people for destroying the project. Whoever puts the biggest red candle on any crypto that you're in is going to be rewarded for it, and whoever doesn't is going to be punished. We have something very special here, and it's just this final key component, which is momentum. What is our momentum going to look like once it seriously starts to go? And with most of the supply committed to the staking pools, they're basically saying we're not going to stunt that momentum. We're going to allow for this project to grow. And I can't quite say what that would mean, but hypothetically, if I was talking about another project that's not my own and they have most of the supply staked and the price starts to go up, that supply that's not staked is not going to stop that price from going up, and the price going up can become exponential. And so that's where you see projects blow up, is when the price is basically allowed to reach levels that it could not, insane levels before whales sell. But you can't just hope that whales don't sell or that people don't rug the project. You have to remove the bad actors. We've done that. And now you have to incentivize and reward the whales for growing a project long term. We have something very special, and this could be, maybe we don't do well with this project, right? I have to be like, you have to be okay with that. Maybe we don't do well. Maybe we try and it doesn't do great. But you also have to be open to the idea that this project could be way bigger than I ever thought it could be. And I think that potential's there. If you think I'm a dreamer, then, people never accomplish anything amazing by dreaming small. So just keep that in mind. And I've seen reward projects do billions in volume that weren't doing what we're doing. I've seen reward projects do hundreds of millions in volume that aren't doing what we're doing. We are storing up value in the future that protects the life of the project. It protects you against sell-offs. It protects your bag, so that it protects your marriage, so that your wife doesn't leave you, because you can say, babe, we still got the control event, just wait till the control event. It's going to be good, babe. Yeah, that guy sold and our bag went from 100 grand down to 20, but I promise you the control event's there to protect us. You know what I mean? So I joke about that, but that's a reality, that if your bag goes up a lot in this project and a massive sell-off happens, you won't be able to be like, damn, I missed out. Like, imagine how terrible that feeling is. And a lot of you guys have had that feeling. You're going to be like, no, I've still got the 6-month event and the 12-month event. Worst case scenario, I've got these rewards that can't go down, and they can only go up with volume. And there's the potential for the price to recover and go on to higher points because of that value in the future. Super important that you understand the value in the future, guys. Appreciate all you guys hitting the likes up. People watching, if you just do me a favor, hit that like. It gets more people in here. Spread this message. There might be a very simple calculation for the B&B thing that I'm just not familiar with. No problem, Davey. I appreciate you stopping by, man. It really is a no-brainer. We have something amazing, and I've talked about this. You have so many amazing things. The value in the future is probably, I don't know. It's the number one reason of what is going to allow this project to succeed, to keep it alive, to protect it. That's what people are seeking. The value is typically in the LP. After the whales sell, it's like a pyramid scheme. The whales at the top, they sell. There's no value left. The project's dead. Everybody else is stuck with the dead project, with a team that's trying to produce some kind of hype and hope to get the project to go on another run. But we are utilizing the most powerful thing. That's why I don't know if people, they hear, oh, utility, where's the utility? And I'm like, there's a utility in this. You just need to understand it. I promise you, you need to understand that this utility is probably better than most utilities you've ever heard of. The utility is built into the idea. What's up, Aaron Moma? You're just waiting for the right eyes to get on this project? Well, we're doing spaces. We're going to be doing spaces with CoinMerge. This week, we're also going to be doing spaces with, I think we're doing a space with them. We're doing another space that I haven't announced yet, but that's probably going to be on Telegram. So I'll let all you guys know about that early so that you guys can get into that. And yeah, we should have a lot of exciting things happening. You just got to keep spreading that message. And as the momentum goes, we have such a unique message that nobody else has had. Who has a message like this? I haven't seen one. This is why when projects come to me, I'm like, oh, cool. And I'm like, man, this is nothing compared to what I've had in my mind for a long time. The value in the future is what protects the project, right? So that even if the value in the LP goes down, this value does not go down, and it actually goes up as the value of the LP goes down, which is crazy structure to have. Scott B in the YouTube side of things says, well said. I think we just got to keep doing what we are doing, keep buying, and just be patient, and the right people will buy in eventually if we are green long enough. I agree. I think that's a great strategy. And I always say, things can change very quickly. You can get momentum very quickly. We have all the right components. We literally have like everything you would want in a project. Exciting reward event, real value, the community actually committed to it, the whales actually committed to it, a situation where you can recover, protection against sell-offs, natural demand on the price. With certain volumes, we literally raise the floor to where it won't be able to go back down to certain prices. Only 17 million in volume would put the floor at higher than where we're at right now. That should just... People have got to be like, no way, that's real. That can't be real. And I'd be like, go look at the math. Go run the math. Green candles breed green candles and start to eventually snowball. Exactly. You guys know what I'm talking about. Super excited, man. Prayers for everyone involved in this project. It's about time a token wins that has morals behind it. 100%, man. This, all of crypto, there's got to be losers. But this project is just, it's basically like it was designed so bad. It was designed to benefit the people at the top so much and to give them so much control, so much power, that we're just like, hey, what if we gave that control, power, and rewards back to the community and we rewarded them over a long period of time? Those rewards would actually be significant and you'd be able to create something that stands out in the space. And I think we have that. We're probably, in one way, it's the easiest time, but in another way, it's the hardest time. It's the easiest time that projects blow up in the beginning. That's where they have the most potential to blow up. But it's also the hardest time in the time that we're coming at a time where every crypto project's trying to promote themselves right now. And we're just another crypto project to somebody. You've created a great project. Thank you. Thank you, Roscoe. I think so, man. I really do think so. And I think it's very simple. It's not some like complex thing. People might think this is complex, but it's really not. The ideas are very simple. How the rewards given out might be semi-complex, but the reason that we have 12 months, 6 months, and 1 month is to create things along the way to look forward to into the big reward event. We've got the big reward event, you've got a medium reward event, and then you've got your monthly reward events. And that's just to carry you along until the first big reward event, and then carry you along until the really big reward event. So the value and the community, like probably the biggest part, I mean, the community really is the biggest part, but the community would not be committed to the future growth of the project if there wasn't value. If I just said, come on guys, let's all be friends here, let's commit to the future growth of the project, and like, no, everybody's gonna be like, yeah, screw you, I'm gonna sell as soon as I can. I'm not gonna just do that to be nice. I'm not just gonna let somebody sell so that I can't, because I'm not gonna be a sucker, right? And that'd be bad if I did that to you guys. I can't just hope that people are united in growing a project over a long period of time, I actually have to shift value into their hands for doing that. And that's what the tax or the tokenomics does. It takes the most powerful thing, which is the price moving up, and that price can skyrocket. That's why you can see hundreds of millions to billions in volume with projects with zero utility, with high taxes. It's already been done before. If somebody says it hasn't been done, they're lying to you or they're ignorant. It's been done before. High tax tokens have seen hundreds of millions to billions in volume. And so we utilize this very powerful thing, and it's how do you utilize it, right? If you give it back in the same token, you're wasting it. If you give it back in stablecoin, that's amazing, but you're just immediately giving that back to everybody based on the amount of tokens they hold, and the people at the top are going to be most rewarded. And we don't mind rewarding people at the top, but we want to reward people at the top for helping the project, not for hurting it. And so by delaying it, we're taking it from the people that are hurting the project, and by delaying it, we're giving it to the people that are, keep helping the project. Very simple. It's all so simple that it's like impossible to think, is this guy trying to play me? It's like, no, this couldn't be any more obvious. A kid could understand these things. And so because we have this value and it's significant, if we did a small tax, if we did 1%, 2%, 3%, that would not be enough value. Maybe it would, but the reality is we're doing 13% of buys and 18%, like a large portion of the value of the volume is shifting into a future for the project and into a future for you guys. And that does something. The next most amazing thing you could have is have a community committed and aligned with the future growth of the project. And they're not just like, oh yeah, I'm committed to the project. They are demonstrating it through staking. Everybody who enters the staking pools is committing. They're not just saying, yeah, I'm committed and I'm going to sell at any point. Now, technically you could sell. On staking fee, sell fee. Boom, half your value of your bag. You can leave it at any point that you want and forfeit your rewards. Everybody has that option in the staking pools. But the fact that we have such a large community dedicated to the future growth of the project, that's an insane thing. Like, you're not going to find that. I promise you, you're probably not going to find that anywhere. Sorry. I didn't have to cough like that, did I? This project is groundbreaking. What's up, John Carter? And will bring trust back to a broken space. Nothing like these tokenomics. Absolutely genius. There's a lot of things I'm not telling you guys in terms of good things. If this project does well, it's going to continue to do well. The better it does, the more opportunities that happen. And there's a lot of things that I can continue to do that will benefit you guys if this project does well. Especially, obviously, those that are getting in early. Those that get in on really good dips, you're going to probably benefit the most, if the project does well. I can't say anything's guaranteed because nothing's guaranteed in DeFi. But there is a sense in which there is guaranteed in the sense that math is constantly working to convert value into the future, and that value can't go down. Happy birthday. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. And so these value in the future is really what separates Control Token from all of DeFi. Value in the future. But what the implications from doing that, the fact that unites the community, the whales. You know how hard it is to get your whales to be united in growing a project? Like, they're not communicating. They're trying to sell before each other. It only takes a couple of them to sell to cause all the other ones to sell. We have a structure where as people exit, they greatly fuel the future. And so as whales leave, they're decreasing the price, which makes it less likely that you want to sell. And then they're increasing the rewards, which makes it more likely that you want to hold and potentially buy more. Or for somebody else who's looking for a better entry point. As we go up, a massive sell-off, there's going to be a lot of people who bought and who are going to think, oh, those rewards are still here, and I can get in at a really good price right now. I have to go very soon, so this one's going to be a little short today. We're about to go do this salt thing. You guys check it out. Check out Salt Room in your area if you have sinus issues or any kind of congestion or potentially health problems. They have salt rooms you go, and they have what's called a halotherapy machine that puts it into the air and you breathe it in, and salt kills mucus. And so a lot of health problems can be caused by fungus and mucus. So people who work in salt factories or work around salt or live on the ocean, they have a lot healthier bodies because they're around that salt that's like, cleansing their body. But you could just go to a place for like $30 or less and spend time in a salt room. So that's what we're about to go do. I haven't tried it yet, but we're about to go do that. I'm probably gonna go ahead and end this space, guys. I appreciate all you guys. The more you guys understand this, the more you can explain it to other people. That's gonna be probably a very key component to the success of this project is you understand it and you're able to communicate it. The more you can do that, the more that our community can do that, the more likely we are to have people who can continue to understand. Now, I'll always be here, unless God decides to take me, making content, working, sharing the message. The more I think about it, the more I think, oh, there's something new I didn't think about. That's so good. Typically with a reward project, if you get in late, you missed all the rewards, you missed all the volume. Well, you get into this project, you're like, oh, all those rewards are built up for me in the future. That's awesome. Like the idea is amazing. I can't stop going on about how freaking amazing this idea is. Gratefully dedicated. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate all you guys. Hey, I got to call it early. I got to go ahead and get ready to go do all this stuff. And maybe I'll do a space today. But like I said, we've got really, we have multiple exciting things happening this week that you guys are going to find out about. So shout out to the Control crew. You guys are doing awesome. You guys are an amazing team to have behind me. I'm super honored. And I'm not just speaking like to say this, to have you guys behind me. It starts to make me emotional because you guys are exactly the people that I need behind me to make this project work. So thanks for being here, everybody. And I'll see you guys in the next stream.